Welcome back to The World Today. Now, just before we go to that interesting story on the wages in Buenos Aires, basketball lovers in the United States have widely commended the ban imposed on the LA Clippers basketball team owner over racist remarks which were caught on tape. Team coach Doc Rivers said the lifetime ban and fine for Donald Sterling was the start of a healing process. Several civil rights organizations and stars of the game, past and present, have applauded the National Basketball Association for taking swift action. Mr. Sterling was recorded asking a woman not to associate in public with black people or bring them to games. His remarks have earned him a lifetime ban from the NBA, whose commissioner, Adam Silver, urged the Board of Governors, the other team owners, to force Mr. Sterling into selling.
Sterling may not attend any NBA games or practices. He may not be present at any Clippers facility, and he may not participate in any business or player personnel decisions involving the team. He will also be barred from attending NBA Board of Governors meetings or participating in any other league activity. I am also fining Mr. Sterling $2.5 million, the maximum amount allowed under the NBA Constitution. As for Mr. Sterling's ownership interest in the Clippers, I will urge the Board of Governors to exercise its authority to force a sale of the team, and will do everything in my power to ensure that that happens.
Well, to discuss this further is our very own sports correspondent, Austin Okonakpan, who's been monitoring the story for us. He joins me now live on set. Austin, good to have you on The World Today.
It's good to be here, Marachi.
It's not very often we hear stories like this, of course, in sports. But really, you think the ban imposed on Adam Sterling was harsh? And I mean, he's been banned, but he's also required to pay $2.5 million.
The ban, okay, not harsh. $2.5 million on Sterling is like a pat to his palm.
Really?
This man got the LA Lakers in 1981 for $12.5 million. He's a billionaire, and they're telling him to pay $2.5 for all the unacceptable comments he made about the beautiful game of basketball. I think the fine is just child's play, but the ban is welcome because this is sport and it's zero tolerance for racism. I mean, he made so terrible comments that you start wondering if he owns a team that has over 80% of its players as African Americans.
Exactly, it makes you wonder.
There's
really.
Jamal Crawford, who is phenomenal to the team. There's Willie Green. There is Blake Griffin is white, but most of the NBA players are African Americans, and then you start wondering why should a leader come out and say such terrible remarks about basketballers, talking about Magic Johnson, a legend himself, questioning his mistress, that it's okay to take pictures, but don't go about putting it on Instagram.
But is there any proof, really, to suggest that the racial perception influenced the way he might have handled the team?
It is show. He's the owner, and he has one thing in his mind, and that's profit. The LA Lakers, they're not doing badly. They finished third in the Western Conference table, just below the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they're doing well. In the playoff series, they're leading 3-2. And it's just after this verdict that they bounced back because the team has been struggling. I mean, being faced with, racism claims and all of that didn't make them focus. Now, if you go to the LA Clippers website, the first thing you see is we are one. They're trying to come back. This is more like a resurgence. And if they conquer this phase, they might just become a force in NBA history.
But have they or any other team in basketball experienced this sort of treatment, if I may use the word?
We haven't really seen, let me see. In 2007, it's not even as big as this. Don Imus was a host with CBS, and then he used abusive words on the Rutgers women's basketball team, and then that was it. He was told to go on 2-week suspension, and then when he was returning, he was fired. That's it. Zero tolerance for racial comments in sports, because we're trying to use sports as a tool for national unity.
And interesting that you should say racial comments in sports, because this is not the, I mean, it's happened like twice in 1 week. Don't forget Dani Alves, yes, of Barcelona, had a banana thrown at him on the pitch.
And actually, what a way to respond to it. He picked up the banana, peeled it, and he ate it. And for him, he's saying we need to start using humor to fight racism. You know, it's saying that we've been saying it should be kicked out of sport and nobody is answering. Now the Spanish authorities have gone for that to identify who threw the banana, and of course it's been banned also from attending games. So for the sporting community, we're not saying it will go off totally, but for owners of basketball clubs to be in situations like this, no, it's totally unacceptable.
Yeah, and sports really has come a long way. I mean, when most of the sports started, they did have problems with racism. A lot of players had to pull out because of the attacks on the color of their skin. But thank you so much, Austin.
Okay,
we hope to have you back some other time on The World
We'll
Today.
bring you on Sports Tonight also.
Austin Okonakpan, our sports correspondent here in Channels Television.